In a federal courtroom in Madison this afternoon, former Altoona superintendent Dan Peggs learned what his punishment will be for possessing child pornography. WEAU's Maria Blau shares details from today's sentencing and why those who work with survivors of human trafficking say this case could be a sign of change.
The only charge against Dan Peggs during Thursday's sentencing in Madison was one count of possessing child pornography, which was the result of a plea agreement in August of this year. However, for federal judge James Peterson, the core of this case was its production as well as human trafficking. The prosecution argued for the maximum sentence of 10 years in prison. The defense asked for probation, saying we don't send people to prison for deviance in their sexual behavior. The judge also weighed the content of more than 100 letters written both for and against Peggs. Also taken into consideration, words from the victim herself. She said before meeting Peggs, her plan was to go to nursing school. After getting involved with him, she says school became nothing since people like Peggs were in charge. In her statement, the victim said here and now she will begin her healing journey, and Daniel Peggs has no power over her. Peggs also had a chance to speak. He said, "I'm shaking, I'm petrified, I'm sorry for what I did." Peggs choked up as he spoke about the impact of what he did and the impact it will have on his 4 daughters. The judge said he considers Peggs a danger to public safety, and as a deterrent for him and other public officials and educators, the judge sentenced Peggs to 8 years in prison, followed by 10 years of supervised release. Judge Peterson said he chose 10 years for parole because by the end of it, all of Peggs' children will be adults. As the sentence came down, those who work with human trafficking survivors say it was more than they anticipated. For a human trafficking case manager with the Wisconsin Anti-Human Trafficking Task Force, Thursday sentencing is a step in the right direction.
We see this case as an example, but also as change in that crimes like this that aren't always cut and dry can be held accountable in the court of law, which is something we don't see often.
Kenzie says another big moment in court was the victim getting to take her voice back. In Madison, Maria Blau, WEAU 13 News.
The judge allowed the defense's request to let Peggs spend the holidays with his family. He's expected to begin his sentence on January 6th. Peggs will also have to register as a sex offender for 15 years.